Why is it that all the longevity experts on YouTube are between the ages of 49 and 50? Some of them are a little older, but you're not going to see many longevity experts that are over the age of 80. There's a reason why, and this is going to be an interesting subject, I think. First of all, probably the top ones that you'll see, the algorithm is going to throw these people your way, is Peter Attia and Andrew Huberman. And Peter Attia is only 49 years old. Andrew Huberman is, I think, 51 as of right now. So why is it that the experts aren't really that old? The answer is this is called a midlife crisis. Now, women go through this, but there aren't many longevity experts who are women. They seem to be busy doing more important things than writing books about longevity. When you get to a certain age as a man, you start to realize that you probably haven't accomplished as much as you thought. It's called a midlife crisis. And there's many ways of dealing with a midlife crisis. You start to realize that there are more years behind you than there are ahead of you. And for many reasons, you start to have fear, and you start to, all of a sudden, you want to get in shape. You want to start taking vitamins. Your goal is generally not to start just taking pharmaceutical pills and things of that nature. You want to live your dreams of being young forever. And there's another guy, he is just started his YouTube channel. I like him. I think he's onto something, but I don't think he quite understands what he's saying, but I understand where he's coming from. The title of his channel, I'll put a link to it for you, is called I Am Longevity. And he's only 60 years old. He's from New York, so he's got that New Yorker type of energy. And what he promotes is that you should do exercise fast. And he's full of energy. He's like a little Jack LaLanne. But he's 60 years old and just in fantastic shape. But his ideas are a little wacky. He's definitely onto something. He's basically worked out his entire life, and he's just one of these guys that he's worked out forever, and he wants to live to be 100, and he's going to do it by fast, aggressive exercise. That's fine. One thing about longevity experts is, if you ever notice that they're always into something, they'll write a book about it, and then years later they decide that they were wrong. So it used to be cold plunges, and it used to be intermittent fasting and keto and all these things. And then a couple years later, they're like, nah, I'm not doing intermittent fasting anymore, because they realized they weren't getting enough nutrients. And then, the keto thing kind of comes and goes. Cold plunges were the savior 10 years ago, and now they're realizing that it doesn't really help recovery from workouts. It's actually possibly harmful, and now they're into saunas. So give it time before the sauna thing ends. They'll come up with something else to write books about. But, Peter Attia, Andrew Huberman, they're writing all these books. They're talking about all the science. And when you listen to what they're talking about, it's almost like you have to spend your entire day trying to fight the aging process. There's another guy, Johnson, who spends something ridiculous like $60,000 a month on supplements and treatments. Brian Johnson, I think, is his name. And it almost looks like he's just had plastic surgery. I don't know if he has. Probably has not. But he's a millionaire or billionaire who got his money, and now he's realized, midlife crisis, that health is really the most important thing. What's fascinating is how supplements come and go, the popularity of supplements and different exercises. And we're all arguing over what style of exercise is best, what supplements are best, whether you should submerge into cold water or heat, these things. But ultimately, most men, when they have a midlife crisis, they either get in frickin' shape, quit their job, change careers, cheat on their wives, or they just buy a Corvette or a Porsche. That's really mostly what what midlife crisis is all about. But longevity experts, all these people are talking about longevity, and yet none of us have gotten there yet. If we're lucky, we're halfway there. More realistically, we're about 70% there. If we're unlucky, we're going to die soon, despite our best efforts. But if you want to know what it takes to live a long time, then ask people who have lived a long time. And what you'll find is, and even then, everybody wants to debate this, but there are people in the world that have lived a long time. And when you ask them, usually the answer is not what you want to hear. It's not gym memberships, it's not vitamins, it's not nutrients. It's essentially, ask your grandpa who fought in World War II, and he'll tell you, what does it take to live a long time? Don't stress, good cigar, good shot of brandy once a day, and a good woman. It's kind of funny, but when you hear about Dan Buettner, he named all these different blue zones, went to places where people live a long time, and the keto people and the carnivore people got very upset because, a lot of these people eat very simply. They just don't eat extravagant food. They eat natural food, but other than that, they don't think of it as natural. They just think of it as food. A lot of it is plant emphasis. It's not purely plant-based. They're not whole food plant-based, fanatics. They just eat what's available because it's available. They have good attitudes. They have faith in something bigger than themselves. They work hard because they have to. It's not like they're working hard to stay old. They're working hard because they're alive today and the chickens have to be fed or the crop has to be tended to. They don't stress over things. Stress is not a big issue. But if you ask people, what does it take to live a long time? Don't ask a 49 or 51-year-old. Don't ask me. What the hell do I know? I'm just trying to live to tomorrow. Longevity is a funny thing. We all want to live a long time, but none of us want to live poorly a long time. We want to be healthy. So if I can give any piece of advice, it would be, let's try to figure out how to live so that we feel fantastic. Don't worry about how long you're going to last, because you simply just don't know. There's too much in genetics involved. But you're going to see a ton of videos about longevity from people that just haven't lived that long yet. It'd be like asking financial advice from a 20-year-old who wrote a book on how to get rich. I don't want to know what a 20-year-old thinks about getting rich. I want to know what an older person thinks about getting rich, an actual rich person. So let me know what your thoughts are.
Do you need more magnesium in your life? You need to eat more vegetables, and I know what you're thinking. Eat vegetables and your greens from grass. The problem with eating this is it's been fertilized. It has dog poop on it because of our frickin' neighbors who have their dogs come and poop on our lawn and never clean up. So it's a little bit dirty. You want to get your magnesium, but you want to eat your greens, but you can't. What's the solution? Here's the solution: Magnesium Breakthrough by Bioptimizers. It's got 7 different types of magnesium. I take 2 at nighttime. 500 milligrams of magnesium at nighttime puts me to sleep, helps me recover. That way I just don't have to eat all my greens. Link and discount code down below in the description.